Hi everyone. Thanks so much for being here with me today. This is my first YouTube video ever, so I'm a bit nervous. Hope you enjoy the content. That's the idea. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about single firing, which some people have no idea about it, and some people already do it. So if you want to start doing single firing and you don't know about, that's what I want with this video. Okay, I want to make sure you understand and feel confident enough to do your own single firing. When I started, before I do my first, I did research a lot of stuff on internet, Google, Facebook groups, because I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing. And my idea with this video is to help as many people as I can, because the same way I went to get some information, that's what people do with, especially on YouTube, right? You want to get videos and explanations of things, how to do it. And my own experience was that I got that, but I had to make my own testing, okay? So I wanted to tell you a little bit step by step how to do it, and just to make it easy. So the first thing is you must have your own kiln. So if you don't have your own kiln, it's a bit tricky, because for the single firing, you need a specific schedule. So what's a schedule? Is the program of your kiln. It takes longer. So let's say a bisque fire could take around 7 to 8 hours, and then a glaze fire in the same. My schedule takes 14 hours to do just one firing. Still, I think it's more economic, and also time-wise. I think our time is very precious. So if I have to fire everything I have twice, I would need way more time, and doing that way, I think was a really good solution for my pottery experience. And I run a few workshops, so I have so much stuff to fire. I wouldn't be able to do from the normal way. But then I said I'm gonna try, and that's about pottery. You must try. Testing. You know about that. So what I do is I do some testing with my plates, just to make sure the glaze I'm using, it's working nice on that clay. So let's say this is a clay, black clay. That's one of my testing plates I did. So just to make sure the glazes you have, it's gonna work well on that clay on the single firing, right? So that's another one I have, just testing. And then I take note to know which glaze is and how many coats I did. Usually 3 coats. This is a terracotta clay, and that's my testing on the terracotta. So if you're a potter and you already work with pottery, you know that testing is everything. And taking notes, because if you test some stuff but you didn't write down what it is, it gets a bit hard, right? So once you make your piece, you let them dry normally for like 7 to 10 days, depends on the weather. Once it's dry, I glaze them. I glaze them as if they were bisqued already, but they are more fragile, as you know. Just make sure you hold them more carefully. If it's a platter, I just try to hold it in my hand, not leave on the table, because the table surface, it's hard, and I just want to really have things on my hand and be careful. So with my cups, I usually do this like wavy glazing, because this gives me space to hold. So I hold things like that, and then I glaze. And because they haven't been bisque fire, it dries a bit quicker when you're glazing. So just make sure you have a nice brush to really spread the glaze even, to have a nice result. Because if you don't spread evenly and it dries quickly, you won't get a nice result. But again, it's all about testing, right? So once they're glazed, I wait maybe a night or another day if it's the weather, it's too cold and a bit moist, and then I put in the kiln. So my schedule is, that's the program of my kiln, right? It's 65 degrees Celsius until you reach 250. And that is 1 hour hold. This hour hold, make sure the pieces get dried enough to get a higher temperature, because that's when the piece can break. If it's a bit moist and it goes too high, bang, cracks. So this 1 hour hold, it's important, right? So after that, it's 110 degrees Celsius per hour until reach 1100 degrees Celsius. Sorry, my English. And then after that, it's 65 degrees Celsius again until reach 1208. And why I do 1208 instead of 1222, which people usually do for cone 6? It's because I found that my kiln was getting too hot if I would type that on my program. So I use those cones. So that's the cones we use to test. So this goes in the kiln, and then I can see if it's too hot or not. So that's the way I saw, oh, it was getting probably around cone 7, cone 8. So I was slowly putting the temperature down a little bit to reach what I wanted, which is the cone 6. And I could see that because some of my glazing, let's say green tea from Meiko, for example, I know that it's not shiny, so it's a bit pate like this one. So when the kiln is too hot, it doesn't get this nice finish. It gets too glossy, and I don't want a glossy, I want that finish. That's why I adjust a little bit my temperature until I get, oh, that's what I want. And what else? I think that's it. And then of course I wait 24 hours to open the kiln. Do not open your kiln if it's too hot. You don't want to crack your stuff. So patience, it's the key for your successful pottery not cracking. Yeah, I always take the bungs out around 400. Oh, bungs in 600. Bungs in 600. Sorry guys, this is my first video and I don't want to keep cutting. I kind of want to do one video, and because I don't know how to edit any videos, so I'm just gonna try to do one. And I'm a human being, I make mistakes, I say things wrong, sorry. Yeah, we can always correct things. So that's it. I'm gonna write down anyway everything on the description of the video, and then you don't need to watch everything again. You can just read the description. There I'm gonna explain how it's the schedule working, and please let me know if you have any questions. My idea with this video is helping people who really wanna change your time with pottery. I know that some people are against the single firing, but you know, everyone has their own opinion and people can do whatever they want. So if you have your kiln and your pottery, and you can do whatever you want. So if you do want to try the single firing, once you go into it, you do not go back. I tell you, once you understand how easy it is. And oh, it's one important thing. Some people told me before that you can't use commercial glazes when you're doing single firing. No, I only use commercial glazes. I don't make my own glazes. I use mainly Meiko. I love Meiko glazes so much. So that's my story. I've started single firing, I would say like a year ago, and I would not go back. The only thing is try different clays, because some clays are not too good to glaze them when they're raw. So if you do use BRT, those clays with a lot of speckles, a lot of rocks, they are the only ones that can be a bit tricky. So they can crack when you're glazing. So again, it's all about testing. So whatever you have, if you work with different clays, just make one piece with each clay, do some testing with your glazes, try one single firing, check your results, and you're happy with that. And then you can start doing that for good. And I tell you what, you're gonna say thank you. You won't regret that. It's a beautiful journey when you go to single firing. So what else? I think that's it. Yes, leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm here to help, and thank you so much. Yay!